computer, yes. Couple more minutes, we'll let a few more people chime in. Now, Bernie, I'm working with somebody in Ireland right now. I don't know how comfortable you are to work with other people, but this person's going through a lot of stuff. If you are willing to take somebody on, you're more than welcome. I can pass their information on to you.
Yes, Chris, I will. No problem.
Okay. It's a very deep problem, but if you want to have a go at it, I'm sure she'd love to hear from you because she's taken me and Ty to task. Let me tell you, she's very, let's say, very needy, very panicky, and looking for some help. We've been Ty and I can fill you in a little bit, but if you're willing to take care of her, I will pass your information on to her. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. I know that the time difference between, we're about 7 hours different, I think. So she's phoning me at 3:30 in the morning. Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's why I say you can have her. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks, Chris.
I think it's a good opportunity for you to maybe practice a little bit, get some experience that way. And then we can all kind of work together, you, I, and Ty, possibly to see what we find and find a common area. So that might help her a lot. I will pass her your email to her, and then she can contact you.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. Allison, Miss Allison's here. Who else are we waiting for? We'll give it 2 more minutes. We're going to go about half hour, 45 minutes, I think. We'll go over the tools. See what they're all about, give some examples on how they get used over here, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, Nova. Oh, Miss Nova's here.
Where's
Miss
Nova?
Nova's here.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, guys.
How can you miss her?
Hi. Is that Nova?
Hey, yeah.
Oh, Nova, are you here with the blonde? Oh, no.
There she is. Say something, Nova.
There's Ty with the hat on. Is that Nova?
There she is.
Hi, Nova.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, there you are. Okay.
I like the ceiling.
A lot of love in this room. A lot of love in this room.
Love, love, love. Love is good. We are true. We are super true.
We can say that again.
We are super, super true.
Okay, let's give it 1 or 2 more minutes. Miss Sue, love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love and a glass of wine.
Drums, Chris.
Hi, Ty. Hi.
Ty's here.
I just have one question. When I see Chris, and then when somebody else talks, it bounces you to another talker. I'd rather not be bounced all the time. Do you have any ideas?
No, okay. I'll just leave it. That way you can see the picture of the person talking. It's going to be me doing all the talking anyway, so what the heck. All right. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, welcome. Okay, now we're recording, and we did our first webinar on how to use a letter chart, and the recording turned out terrible. Okay, so this one is going to turn out, I'm going to be able to post this most likely on YouTube and on Groupbox. I'll put the link so that anybody can see it on YouTube. I am going to be doing an alphabet chart how-to video within the next couple of days, and I will post that onto Groupbox also send everybody a link so that everybody can follow through. And I want to incorporate that with the how to use the chart video so that everybody can have access to it. I apologize for the first time around, but my technology skills are very, very limited to one of these, okay? That's about as far as I go. Anyways, here we are. Tonight we're going to talk about the tools and generally what they're about, how to use them. Now, the biggest question I get are, where's the instructions for these things? What I tell people, and what I was told by the tool maker, Wayne Gatos in Alberta, is that the instructions are right here. Okay, so what that means is that when you get one of these things, you're going to look at it and say, what the heck do I do with that? Okay, I'll give you another story along that. So Wayne sent me a Vesica Piscis. It sat next to me for a year. And I kept on looking at it and like, what do I do with this thing? When do I use it? All of a sudden one day, we need to use this. So Source came in and said, now is time. Okay, so basically, with the tools, you're going to be led one way or another, when to use them, how to use them, what they're used for, etc. Because ultimately, everybody's going to use them for something different, in different ways and in different concepts. So now, okay, let's start with what we all get within the True Quantum Healing kit, the course. We all get a triple pyramid. This one's missing a sun ring. I haven't put it in yet. We all get a neutralization ring, and we all get a sun ring. Okay, so let's start with the basic, which is the neutralization ring. What this thing does is it removes general negative energy out of anything. Okay, whoops, got a bit of a headache. Pull the negative energy out. It'll start doing its job. So what I always suggest to people, now in the to-do charts, you'll ask what to do, and if it says neutralize, you use a neutralization ring. Best rule of thumb is always start with the neutralization ring. So in this case, you would take this one, put it on the floor, the person would stand over it, align it with their spinal column. It would start to loosen things up. What these things do is it's like a paint mixer. It's going to loosen things up. It's going to bring things up to the surface so that you can easily identify them with the chart system, and using the pyramids, remove it. Okay, in many cases it'll just do it itself and remove whatever is there, as long as it's not too deep. So now there's different sizes. This is the small one. Everybody starts with this one. Now the beautiful thing about the small one, what I find you can do, hold it between the palms of your hand while doing a clearing. This is going to go to a deeper source self level or a soul level. So just like saying a prayer, it's going to work at that level. So these ones, beautiful for the beginning of the session. Put it on the floor, have the client stand over it. If you're doing a Skype session, basically take this, put it on the desk, okay, just like that, and then put your microphone or your phone over top of it and intend that ring to be between a person's feet. Everything here is intent. I'm going to be saying this a million times over and over and over again. Everything here is intent. I love to do demonstrations with these rings, so I just take it, put it aside, and I intend to place one between a person's feet, and they feel the same thing as if it's there. So very often it's a good way to do a demonstration. If all of a sudden you haven't got one with you and somebody's having a problem, make the intent that that neutralization ring is in either between their feet or over the pain area that they're in. And you'll amaze yourself. You'll all of a sudden realize, hey, something's going on. So just by using your intent, they work very, very well that way. Now, if you're using a pendulum, except for one of Ty's pendulums, a crystal pendulum, if you put the pendulum inside the ring, it's going to clear your pendulum very, very well. It works very quickly within about 30 seconds or so. So if you're going from client to client, put your pendulum in there, clear it out, go to the next client. It's just like washing your hands. Okay, these things work very good for that. So again, anything, whatever you can think of, these things work so super well. If you took a crystal that you use all the time, put the crystal on the ring, boom, it's cleared. No more sitting overnight in the moonlight or in the sunlight to clear these things out. No more wasting your time doing that. They clear very quickly. Anything crystal will certainly do it, okay? If you're in a restaurant, yes, Nova?
Can you put shungite in here to clear too?
You can put shungite. Shungite is absorbent. Shungite is like a carbon atom, so it absorbs. So it's very important to put shungite in one of these if you want your shungite to work properly. Okay, any shungite crystal, any shungite sphere, pyramid, water stones, put it in here every month or so to clear it out because they do absorb on an ongoing basis. Take it to a restaurant, put your food on top of it. If that chef that day has had a bad day and he's spinning his batter in a clockwise motion and he's putting negative energy in there, you put this on underneath your food and it's going to clear that negative energy out. Any type of water, put this underneath the water, under the glass, and it's going to start to clear it out. You get the message. No matter what you want to do, put it over your shower head. As the water comes out, it'll pull the negativity out of there. So these things are incredibly, incredibly useful. If you are in a business, if you're using True Quantum Healing as a business and you want to sell to your clients, ask me about wholesale pricing. Okay, I will offer you wholesale pricing on these things. These are $28 wholesale. Okay, and you can make some money on them. I sell them like biscuits at a donut shop. It's unbelievable how they sell. I just ordered 80 of them from Wayne, and he's like, 80? I'm like, yeah, he sent me 80. Okay? So these things do work very well. Now, of course, you've got your tools that came along. You've used this on a couple people. Put the neutralization ring on top of there to clear it out, because these things do absorb the energy and disperse it, but you want to make sure that the tools are as clean as they can be. Okay. So the neutralization ring, this is the most common tool you're going to use on an ongoing basis for everything and anything. It doesn't matter what it is, it will clear it out. Okay, so that's the neutralization ring. Now there are the practitioner sizes of the neutralization ring. If you don't have a set of these, shame on you, because if you're using them for clients, these things work so incredibly fast, okay? Because you've got, let's say, an hour to work with somebody. You want to get as much done as possible to get as much result as possible. So these ones come in gold and platinum. They come in a set. You can buy them individually, or you can buy a set. Now, the gold one is very, very useful. What I use it for is at the end of a session to remove any residues that are lying around. So all the clearings that we do are basically like washing your hands. This is rinsing off your hands. So it pulls off any negative energies that are lingering around, any vestiges, anything like that. If you're working with somebody who has a very deep, deep entity within them, you want to use the platinum one between their feet and the gold ring over their head. This is going to work at a very deep level, go back lifetimes and everything, and loosen up all of this stuff that is within this person, and it's going to make it a lot easier to clear them out. So the small ones are great to bring with you anywhere you go. You've got a purse, you've got a pocketbook, you've got a pocket, bring it with you. All of a sudden you need it, there it is. Okay, these ones are great in your office. I use these on Skype all the time when I'm working with people on the phone. Just basically, the same thing as intent. You take this, you take the microphone, you put the microphone in there, and now you intend that it's between a person's feet, and it will do the job. People will feel the movement. People will feel things. Okay. So that is the neutralization rings. Now, here is the sun ring. This one is a platinum one. The one you got are gold. I put platinum ones within the triple pyramid to offset the energies. You got platinum and gold. And then the wire I use is silver. So now you got 3 different energies. Okay. So now the beautiful thing about these is they are basically like a radionic broadcaster for energy. Again, many, many uses. So with this one, you can also, in the palm of your hands, Now, with the neutralization ring, they don't really work much with intent. They kind of work on their own. You can use intent, of course, and you can use anything, any kind of intent, any way you think to work with it. If you get a clearing and a result, that means it worked. So with these ones, because they're a sun ring, they're a broadcaster, if you held this and you've got a headache, headache false, headache false, headache false, the headache should relieve itself. If you know what the headache is, calcium within my brain false, it will go even deeper. So basically you can use these with any intent and it will make those changes within your energy fields and grids, okay? Now another beautiful thing, because they are broadcaster, is if you took this, took a crystal, you took a herb, you took a homeopathic remedy, an essential oil, anything at all, and put it in the ring, now this is going to broadcast into the room, okay? Can anybody feel that? Anybody sensitive enough to feel that? Okay, so there is an energy field coming off it. So whatever you put in here is going to broadcast into the room. So they work really great if you want to put this at your bedside. And then you put something in here of any kind of programming, a crystal. You can write an intent on a piece of paper, on a Post-it note. Dreams true. Put that in the sun ring, and your dream state will be true. Okay, whatever intent you put in there, that's what's going to broadcast. A lot of people will take this ring, put a supplement in there, and then they'll take both of their index fingers, put it inside the ring, and now the energy of that supplement is going to go through your body. You're going to get the energy of it, and then when you take it orally, you're getting it into your digestive system, and it's going to supplement that way. So you can use a supplement two different ways. So you can put it in the ring and then ingest it and get it two different ways. They work fantastic like that. I've seen people take a picture of themselves when they were very young and healthy, put it in that ring and just leave it for a couple weeks, and your vitality level should start to return to that point in time. It's going to broadcast that frequency. So if you put the intent within that picture, to broadcast the usefulness at this age to your body, you will start to notice some changes, okay? And it's not going to work for everybody depending on what you need, but it's something to try, and of course everybody wants the pudding as to what's working, so that's something that you can try within people. So that is the sun ring. Any questions about the sun ring? I must be doing real good at explaining these things. Okay, now, let's go a step further. Chris, how do I use these things? Well, you've got this and you've got this. Put them on top of each other. What do you feel?
Energy shifting.
Okay, so there is some energy moving. So when you take it off, what do you feel?
Wow. Hit me in my stomach.
Yeah, so it's going to work in conjunction with each other. So you can do, again, you can do almost anything you want with these rings, with these tools, whatever, however you feel within your heart, within your source self, what to do with them. Here's some ideas, and you're going to, all of a sudden you're going to be taking this crystal, you're going to be taking this beamer, you're going to be putting all kinds of things on top of it to broadcast a certain energy, a certain recipe to your body, and it's going to make some changes. So whatever you feel is the right thing to do, there is no right and wrong, okay? Whatever gives you a shift, if it doesn't work, well, all it means is it didn't work. It's not going to do anything bad. So there are those two little rings, incredibly valuable. A set of them, $28 a piece. If you do demonstrations for people with these things, you're going to be selling them like crazy out of the back of your van, okay? So there's the little rings. Now, the pyramid. Okay, again, this one is missing the sun ring. Now, why triple pyramid? What's wrong with a single pyramid? Let's do this. What do you see? You see the Star of David. Okay, there is geometry. This is all sacred geometry. So there is the Merkaba right there. Okay, so this is going to work at a much different level than just a single pyramid. I do have those. I do sell them. People like to hang them over their bed and just sleep under them. But if you want to have anything that's going to have some clout, it's going to be the triple pyramid. Now, with this one, basically the way I use it, the flat end, the base is the gun end, and you almost want to use it like a megaphone. You want to speak into it, say your intent, and the intent is going to come out. Okay, everybody, love true.
Love,
True.
Love true.
True. Love
True.
Love true.
Love true.
Love true.
Okay.
Love.
You're going to feel that. Okay. Whatever the findings you get within your charts, you use those findings, put it into the pyramid, and it's going to broadcast it into the person. Plain and simple. You can hang it over your bed. You can put it in your refrigerator to help keep your vegetables fresh. There's a lot of research done where when things are under a pyramid, they tend to last longer. They're not going to ripen quite as fast. I like to put my razor under the pyramid. It keeps it sharper, okay? Because this don't cut itself, you know. Okay, so this one is naked, okay? Naked as a jaybird. Now, if you notice at the very top, the top is a platinum top or a nickel top. That is there for a reason. We don't want to paint over it or nothing. It's got to be like that. The other two pyramids don't have that. The top one does. It makes it a little more psychic. Now, I get a lot of questions about putting stuff in them because a lot of people have seen what I use, and they ask questions about crystals and loading the pyramid. I'm going to show you one. This is an older one that I don't use anymore. This one I went a little overboard with. Okay, so I took this one and I mounted. These are rare earth magnets, pure quartz crystals. There's a piece of shungite in there, more magnets, more crystals, and then here is a couple of magnifying glasses with some sacred geometry. And I put tiny little crystals all in the ends just to make something. Okay, and that one is how we kind of got started, and I went a little overboard, and that's okay. That's okay. Can anybody feel a bit of a difference in energy?
Yeah.
There's a bit of a difference there. So by loading it up, it is going to enhance the energy, change the frequencies, and it's still going to work just as good as this one. But this one may bring things to a higher level in certain ways. Now, over here, where's the big guy? Here is another variation on the triple. This is the quad. Okay, this is 5 pyramids. This is the silver light pyramid. We don't make these anymore. This one cost me $700 to build.
Oh, wow.
And they're really, really fragile. I tried shipping one to somebody once, and they showed me the box. It was all in pieces. But, you know, this one I used for a long time. It worked very, very well for me. Then again, now it's kind of obsolete. We've gone through different levels of energy, different shiftings, and this one is just kind of sits in the museum now. So that's some examples on how to load the pyramid. So is there a rhyme or reason? No, there isn't. Whatever this tells you to do, you can just go ahead and grab any kind of crystals you have. This is all just gel epoxy, holding them in. Gel epoxy is organic, so you can go ahead and use it to hold everything in. It holds very, very well. So you can go ahead and do that. Now, so that's the triple pyramid, okay? Any questions, excuse me, about that at all? Again, I'm doing good, aren't I? Okay, now.
I do like shungite with the pyramids.
Shungite works very, very well with the pyramids. It does. I did put a sphere in there, and it's working crazy well. Okay, now we're going to go to, let's go to something different.
I have a quick question, Chris.
Yes.
Do you always hold the bottom of the pyramid toward the client, and because I do it the opposite. I hold the tip of the pyramid toward.
You get a clearing.
I get that I do.
Okay, so there you go. There is perfect example that it really doesn't matter how you hold the pyramid as long as the energy is changed. Okay, so what Deanna does is hold it this way, pointing to the person. I hold it this way just because that's what I was told to do. So, but if you're getting a clearing, it doesn't matter. Try doing it both ways. Okay, do some experimentation. Try different things. Try holding like that, hold like that, throw it behind your head, whatever. I mean, everybody is going to do things differently. That's why there's no specific instructions, because what we want you to do is learn how the tools operate, how you interact with them, and how they want to be used, because there is consciousness in here. You can hear it, listen to that, there's consciousness, okay? They want you to do something a certain way, okay? Geometry is the language of the universe, and they want to talk to you. And just as I said, this Vesica Pisces sat next to me for a year before it all of a sudden said, hey, Chris, I'm over here, come and use me. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Okay, any other questions? Beautiful, okay. Now, let's go, we're going to go to some little tools here. This cute little thing is called the G. Why is it called the G? Nicola, why is it called the G?
Oh, let me guess. It looks a bit like a G.
Yeah.
Oh, Nicola.
Yes, indeed. Okay, it does look like a G. Now, the significance of this is to help knock out geopathic stress. So if you lived in a house where, say, there's possible ley lines underneath the house, if there was some different stressors within the ground, a water line under the house, etc., if you're on top of an underground lake, if you took a few of these and you put them within a room, you gridded your room with these, they would help to settle down the geopathic stress. If there's one point of geopathic stress, let's say in the floor or in your basement, if you put this right on top of it, it would start to knock it out, okay? So these things got one use and one use only, geopathic stress. But having said that, I'm sure that Nova or Sue are going to find a different way to use these things. And that's what makes them so wonderful, is that they can be multi-use. So these Gs, they're not on my website. I forgot to get them on. They're going to get on soon. They are cheap. Lots of people. Ty, what do you guys use them for?
Under electronics, they actually break up some of the circuit board frequency.
There you go. So if you put this under your computer, under your laptop, anywhere where there's a electromagnetic frequency, anything like that, they work very well to help knock it out. So grid your room, put them in corners, under computers, anything like that, and they will help out. Wherever this tells you to put them, that's where you put them.
So, Chris?
Yep.
Do you just need one for a room, or would you actually use 4 in the corners of the room?
Well,
or,
you can always douse and find out now, can't you?
yeah, okay.
Okay, now, this is the ankh. Okay, it looks like an ankh. It is an ankh. The beautiful thing with these is that they work great in conjunction with these. So if you gridded your room, let's say in 4 corners, 2 of these and 2 of these is going to create a nice grid pattern to cancel out and add energies. It's going to do a bit of a push-pull thing. Ty, what do you guys use these for?
Excellent question. Under the pillow, it improves sleep and dreams.
Okay.
I've put it on the corner of a room where there was a ley line coming in. I put it right on the corner of the room, and that actually stops that. And if you step on it with your your right foot, it kind of grabs a lot of energy. Like heart energy, it kind of just grabs stuff that's not heart resonance. It seems to kind of work.
Okay.
The other thing is, if you have like a beamer, you could put it on the back side of somebody. It'll kind of blast energy through a person. It'll kind of ground it out, or create a kind of like a pull of that energy. So there's a couple.
These things are great for grounding. Good one, Ty. Okay, so basically if you're working with somebody, they're sitting in a chair, if you put this on the floor and their right foot on top of it, or down to see which foot, this will help to ground them out so that the energy can go through. If they're not grounded properly, it is something that you want to utilize. And again, as a backer plate, if you want to work on somebody's heart with a beamer or any other tool, you put this behind the heart, and then you point the beamer, and it's going to create a better flow of energy. It's not just going to blast through. It's going to create a flow. So they work great for gridding the room. They work great for grounding, and they work great as a backer plate. Now, you get a lot of people, most people have an emotional problem, and especially if they have any kind of heart blockage. These things are unbelievable for removing any kind of heart crust or any kind of buildup around the heart. So if you hold it over the heart for 5-10 minutes, things will start to loosen up. All of a sudden, you get a crying baby on your hands, okay? They work awesome that way. So again, multiple things you can do with these things. These things together work awesome. These things by themselves work awesome, depending on what the person needs. So you can always douse. What tool do I use next? And you will get those answers. Okay, now, the beamer. Yes, indeed, it is copper piping from your plumbing in your house, okay? And it is gold infused, but inside are 4 tubes of noble gases: krypton, argon, helium, and something else. Okay, you've got a fancy name: krypton, argon, helium, neon. Okay, noble gases are gases that don't mix with each other. So when you point it, who's going to tell me what they feel? Who's going to tell me what they feel?
Release of energy from my heart chakra.
Okay, very good. So this, because it is the way it's designed, it is a stream. Oh, I can see that tracer. You can see there's a stream of energy that comes out of it, and it'll slowly start to widen the farther it gets. So these things are really interesting for working, let's say, on one point in the elbow, one point in the knee, one point in the shoulder. Just if you want to work in a very, very small spot, these things are good like a laser beam. They are just like a laser beam. Okay, so having said that, if you took one of these, put it inside one of these, now the pyramid is going to widen the beam. So if you want to use this energy at a wider range, put it inside the pyramid, boom, now you've got a wider beam of energy coming out of the beamer. And again, the beamer, just like everything else, works with intent. Open Deanna's heart chakra. Deanna's heart chakra, true. And she will all of a sudden fall asleep, and then we're done. Okay, there we go. So that, again, intent is everything. Now, the nice
Thank you, Chris.
You're so very welcome, dear. My pleasure. Now, with the beamer, just like a broadcaster, if you took this and you put a crystal on top of it, and this heart chakra, true. What does that do, Deanna? Oh, you really want that, don't you?
Yeah.
Deanna's heart chakra, true.
It just makes me feel lighter. I don't know. It almost feels like the layers of negativity are dissolving.
Exactly. Okay, so whatever you douse to use with it, you can take the ankh, put it next to it. You can take the sun ring, put it next to it. You can take, again, a supplement, a herb, a homeopathic remedy, and this will channel it into that area specifically with the narrow beam. Or you can use it along lines with the triple to widen the beam. So these things work really nice for little spots that need some help. And because of the energy is a little differently with the noble gases, you might be testing to use this for certain things. And you might see a commonality with certain problems using the beamer instead of the pyramid. Okay. These things, we used to make a huge one called the full body beamer, but they didn't sell very well, so we just are making this one right now, and it's working just fine. Everybody's loving them, and you can put it in your pocket. You can take it with you. Now, if you have a plate of food in front of you, just take the beamer, wave it around counterclockwise, and pull negative energy out of there. If you want to open your meridians, open your meridians, okay? Here's your dowsing hand. Let's open the meridians to the dowsing hand. Okay, meridian here, open that one. and that will help to open meridians to get energy flowing. Very helpful that way. Now we're going to go to, oh, I want to tell you a story first. This tool is very special to me. Okay, I think Ty has one of these.
I don't actually.
You don't? Oh, okay. This is a slim spurling tool. Okay, all these tools that we have, they're all Krystaline, made in Canada. This is from somebody called Slim Sperling. Okay, he is now deceased. He passed away. This is the very first energy tool that I ever got. It's called it's a coil. It's
a vac something.
AccuVac coil. Yes. So let's try it out. I just want to give you guys what it's like. So we're gonna start pulling it back a little bit. You might get a drawing sensation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what this is designed to do is to pull out negative energy out of the body. Okay, and then you empty it out. Now, Slim Sperling, back in the day, in a past life, I was a Buddhist monk. I was a printer. I discovered printing. What was I in this lifetime? A printer.
Printer.
Yeah. So now, when I discovered printing, I was chiseling wood blocks into letters, putting it on a matrix and homemade paper, putting it on top, and putting plant-based inks on there to make a copy of something. So I needed a new set of chisels. Who do you think gave me my first set of chisels?
Slim Sperling.
Slim Sperling. Back in the day, his name was Chin Long, and he gave me my first set of chisels. In this lifetime, he gave me my first tool.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? I did some work with a site. When I first started doing this, I wanted some answers as to what was going on with all this stuff because I didn't know. And I was told that story that back in the day, I discovered printing. This lifetime, I'm printing. He gave me my first tools as Chin Long. He gave me my first tools in this lifetime. So that, to me, is very special. I keep that one because
that's cool.
Yeah, that's you can't make that stuff up.
You can feel a lot. That one really grabs energy. Like, wow.
It is dangerous though. Because,
I'm releasing so much stuff.
I have used that on people and had people pass out on me. Okay.
What?
Yeah, it is strong. It's got a mind of its own. I don't know, but it is like really wild. I don't use it anymore because if you use it at the wrong time, all of a sudden that person's out. Okay, what it'll do is it'll go in and grab it and it'll pull it out and say, "You're coming with me." Instead of, "Oh, would you please come out and play with us? We'll put you away." It's "Oh, you're coming with me, kid. Get out of here." It can be very, very strong.
Wow.
That might be good for some of the clients we've had lately.
Yeah.
Oh, Elizabeth.
Can a person purchase that tool?
If you go on Slim Sperling's website, yes, you can. They're still making them. They make a lot of tensor rings, a lot of rings called the Lost Cubit. You can certainly buy them there. And they do have them in smaller sizes, bigger sizes. They have feedback loops, kind of the same design. But go on the Slim Sperling website and certainly have a look. They're not going to do any harm by doing that. Okay. Vesica Piscis. I got one right here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, now, Vesica Piscis loves to be spun. Okay, woo, just like that, it loves to be spun. Okay, now, what is the difference between this triple pyramid and the Vesica Piscis?
The Vesica is feminine.
Male, what's a female?
It's feminine.
Vesica Piscis does not have something, the mathematical something.
Right. Okay. So this does not have the math of pi. This one does. Okay. Now the Vesica Piscis was brought forward by Wayne to facilitate with the divine feminine, the changes in the energies from the masculine to the divine feminine. This one still works perfectly well, but for some people, you may need to go to a different level and work within the divine feminine into the higher dimensions. Okay, so it's still a pyramid. There's still pyramid form to it. Okay, butt to butt, and then wrapped around, there's still pyramid form. If you Google the word Vesica Pisces, you might see the picture Ola by vagina, okay, because it does represent feminine energy. Okay, this one is kind of all-encompassing on its own little way. What I like to do because of the sun ring will raise this energy up to a much higher level and get it out of that pyramid range. A lot of people say, well, pyramids, isn't there a pyramid curse? Yes, there is. What this does is it brings it out of that level of energy to a much higher state within the same realm. So it's going to work without those energies of curses, and it's going to do a much better job. It's like doing a tweaking on your computer to get it out of picking up viruses and stuff like that. It does help in that realm. But this one here this is my mainstay. This is one I'm using all the time right now because I'm working on 8 people a day, 5 days a week. We need to keep the energies up and running. So this is what we use. It works very well. Now, of course, this one, how do you use it? Well, I just point it, okay? You can point like this, whatever. You can spin it in front of the person, get some energy moving through their torus, and so forth. So, again, it's just point, give intent, and it's done. Now, loading the Vesica Pisces, here's the one that I use every day. Okay, I put a sun ring on the back. And again, it's a platinum sun ring, just to give some difference between the gold and the platinum. It'll change that. But this is a mondolite. Ty, what does mondolite do?
It's really good with reptilian energies, really. What I was thinking.
They work really well with anything to do with your source self. Okay. Get to that level, and the composition of mondolite is iron quartz. Okay, so basically it's the rarest crystal in the world, one of the rarest crystals in the world, only because it's very hard to get a permit to mine it in the Sahara Desert. That's where they found it. There is a place in Canada called Able Crystals that sells small pieces of it. They're not cheap. This one cost me $200, and that was wholesale. But if you want to look into it, Able Crystals, this guy is wonderful. He sells also all the stuff that I do. He's a good friend with Wayne from Krystaline. So we're all on the same page. You're going to be getting a good crystal. So if you want to incorporate that into your tools, they will work very well that way. So just to recap, what is the most important thing about using the tools?
Intention.
The tools are like a gun that's ready to be fired. Pull the trigger, will you? So the intent is the trigger. When you give it intent, say the words out loud. Whatever you find while you're dowsing, say the words into the tool, point it at the person. 9 times out of 10, they'll feel like, whoa, something just left, something just shifted. I feel warmth, I feel prickly, I feel a wave, I feel something, I feel lighter. Then you know you're onto something right, okay? If the person feels nothing, don't worry about it. Just keep dowsing, just keep clearing. The tools are going to do their job if they're given the right direction. The tools are going to absorb any negative energies that are coming out. So you're not going to feel really tired at the end of the day or end of working with somebody. If you're using any form of hands-on technique, Reiki, quantum touch, you might feel you need to take a break every once in a while or stop. With these tools, I'm doing 8 hours a day, sometimes 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I go upstairs and I play with my kids. Okay, I'm shooting 56. And I don't get real tired after this. I might take a 10-minute nap here and there because sometimes it does drain you, especially when you're working with Elizabeth, okay? But these things are going to take the brunt of everything. They're going to do the job for you. When people say to you, oh, how come you just can't use your hands? Just say, I do use my hands. I'm holding a tool, aren't I? Come on. It doesn't matter. As long as the person is getting great results, they're feeling changes, that is what matters. And the tools in whatever way you want to use them are going to facilitate that. We're going to touch quickly on the large sun rings, okay? We got the large size, we got the small size. With the sun rings, again, they're a broadcaster. Put this on the floor, have the person stand in it, put in a bottle of gold ormus, put in a crystal, whatever, and that person is going to absorb those energies. So again, just like the neutralization rings, you can put a platinum on the floor, gold ring over the head, and then they're in a tower of energy. There's a tensor field there of energy that is ready to take your intent and to go in and make changes. So whatever you want to dowse for, make a list of whatever tools you have, what tool is optimal to clear this person with. You may get some varying results. You may get something very, very common all the time. The very odd time I do get a comment to use the sun rings in certain ways. But then again, everything is intent. So as long as you're putting the right intent in there, finding the answers in the charts. What if the answer is not right in the charts that you get? What's going to happen, Bernie?
Sorry?
If you get the wrong answer in the charts and you do a clearing on somebody, what's going to happen?
Nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing bad's going to happen. Nobody's going to look at you and say, oh, you're wrong. Ha, ha, ha. No. Probably, when I do a session, probably 30% of the answers I find aren't quite there. So what we're doing is we're doing a clearing. Oh, no, well, that's not quite it. Let's try this one. Oh, that one worked. So there is trial and error involved. Absolutely.
No doubting or doubting.
Yeah, doubting, exactly. So that takes a lot of doubt out of it. Just don't doubt it. Just clear it. Just say the words and do the clearing. And the person will feel it. If they feel it, oh, something changed. Okay, well, keep going, keep going, keep going. And the tools are there to help you. Questions?
Nope.
Questions?
Well, I'll ask a question for the people that are being kind of shy. A lot of the students ask me, Ty, how do you feel when something is pulling off? And how do you know it's working? So I know somebody's thinking that.
Okay, so with now, again, everybody's different. So if I'm holding this, you're my client, and I'm holding this, and I'm moving some energy, and I say the words, all of a sudden I feel me pulling towards the tool. I feel a pulling sensation, much like you got a fish on the line and it's pulling on you. The bigger the pulling sensation for me, the stronger the energy is there. When it's finished, it lets go and almost pushes me back. Okay, some people, Nicola feels a twinge in her gut, in her source self. Everybody's going to be a little different. When I first started using the tools, I was like, how come this person's not feeling anything? I'm doing something wrong. Some people don't feel anything. Some people don't feel a movement of energy. But all of a sudden, they start yawning. Well, there's a big sign right there. All of a sudden, they start belching. There's a big sign that energy is moving. Some people feel the wave. Some people feel heat. Some people feel an upliftment, like something just got lifted off of them. Everybody's going to be different. And if you learn how people react in certain ways, I've got clients who feel absolutely nothing, but the next day they feel fantastic because the energy still works. For some reason, they just don't feel it, whether there's a density in there that they're at, or they're just that strong that they're not going to feel it. It doesn't matter as long as the next day they got a clearing done. Anybody else?
Yes, me. So, using the beamer, if I use the beamer pyramid, I need to identify and tell the beamer what to do.
Yes. All the tools, you want to tell it what to do, what to go in and find. Okay. In some cases, if you're just opening meridians, it's just going to do it. But for 99% of the time, when you're using the tools, give them intent.
Okay, what about a foot surgery?
A foot surgery. So basically, you want to add some healing energy. So you've had surgery on your foot. It needs to heal. So you're just going to keep intending love into it. You're going to keep intending any kind of healing energy. If you go into charts where it says heal with, there's a lot of options. And Gangan Deep asked me today, what is hydrolase? And I woke up this morning going, somebody's going to ask me about hydrolase. Hydrolase, if you had the Holy Grail, filled it with water, got hydrolase. So if you intake that into an area of the body, you might get some improvement that way. So if you need to heal something, the word true works very, very well. Right foot, true. Return the right foot, restore the right foot to its normal state of health. The intent. It's all the intent.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Chris?
Yes.
I've heard you say send voodoo back to sender or something like that. Or another time I've heard you say times 3, like true times 3 or something. Can you go true times 1,000?
Well, ultimately, the number 3, when we do a clearing, you kind of want to say it 3 times. Stand in the mirror, Candyman, 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 3 times, okay?
Okay.
When you send it back, instead of sending it back 3 times, you just say times 3.
Hey.
And it's okay to send it back. If somebody's sending it, it's okay to send it back. There's nothing karmic about that. You can send it back. As long as the client is okay with it. Okay.
Right.
Okay. What about clearing program crystals? He wants to know about clearing program crystals. Are you worried that the crystals, that the programming is going to come off the crystals? Okay. So basically, if you want to clear the program crystals, now these are all programmed anyway. They've got their own natural programming. It's not going to take that programming off. You clear it. Okay, if you're worried about that, take this and say natural programming true. Intent. Start thinking about intent. As soon as you start realizing about what you can do with intent and these tools, there is so much you can do. Incredible amount. I'm having amazing results with people with back pain because the disc is prolapsed a little bit. L4 disc prolapse false. Return the disc to its normal position within the body. Position, the size, shape, and position of the disc within the vertebrae, true. All of a sudden, the person feels fantastic. Intent. Come up with your own wording, come up with your own way of saying things, and it is going to take you to unbelievable places. Once you start realizing how strong your intent is, you're going to scare yourself a little bit, but it's all good. You're going to realize that just telling cancer to leave the body is going to happen as long as you get rid of everything that's in front of it, the curses, the spells, any kind of illness, any kind of energy like that, then it's cancer false, and it should leave, okay, as long as you get everything in front of it. Anybody else? Okay, we'll leave it at that. Later on, you're so welcome, Sue, I love you. Later on, all of a sudden, I was going to ask him this. Send me an email, please. Nobody will ever bother me by sending an email. I'm here to help you. I'm here to make sure this works for you and for us. So send an email with any questions, and I will be more than happy to help everybody, okay?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome, everybody.
Thanks,
Love you so much.
Chris. Love this. Thank you. Love this.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank
Good night, y'all.
Y'all.
Good night.
Love you. Bye-bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.